I drink. I need some ice. And did Jacob just pull the girlfriend move?
What do you mean? What's the girlfriend move?
You're like, oh, what do you guys want to do first? And we both kind of agreed on Hell in a Cell, and then just minutes later, like, so we're gonna do the news first.
Oh, it's good that you brought that up. So let's talk about the news. Here
Just
on
like
the
your girlfriend. Where do you want to eat, honey? I don't care. It's totally up to you. How about Outback? Yeah, I was feeling Chili's. Then just say Chili's. Don't ask me. If you feel like Chili's, why ask me my opinion? All right, let's do the news though. Now I'm excited, Jacob.
Yeah, this is what goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't actually see us. There's a lot of yelling. people don't realize that there's a lot of yelling.
Cursing, violent, emotions. Yeah.
It's even worse when Austin's here. There's a lot more cursing, a lot more
I mean,
yelling. Just because there's an extra person.
Ernest gets brought up. Things get off.
Nowhere. No, sorry, Austin.
But I mean, we did decide that Heavyweights is the best summer camp movie.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Heavyweights?
Nah, I don't like movies that make fun of fat people. I'm not doing it.
Well, you haven't seen it then.
I said I never saw it.
So you are that movie is very pro heavyweight.
Oh, it's pro fatty? Okay, I'll get to it.
So have you canceled your
Honestly,
Disney Plus subscription yet?
No, because I get it for free because of my phone, I think.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's on Disney Plus.
I'll be honest, that's one of those movies that just always was never on my radar, and then until for the recent years when now it's brought up as a childhood favorite of others.
Yeah. It's I haven't seen it in such a long time, but I think the tournament fights has really sparked that in me.
Yeah.
So I'll get back around to it. I mean, it's also just a great, fun summertime watch, along with Jaws. You know what else is a fun summertime watch? Wrestling. Let's talk about it. How are you guys doing? I know we've already been on a stream together today, but
right.
You can see that on Picks and Lists over at the Piersco channel. The Isudu Battle finds out who wins when you subscribe to that channel.
Yeah.
The winner may or may not be on this stream.
And the host is
potentially. I'm going good. I look. You can make fun of me in classic all you want. Yeah, I got the exact same. I think I got literally the exact same point of view. I got to a Rotten Tomatoes thing with no. I got to a Rotten.
Doesn't feel good, does it, Richie? That's called. You know what that's called? That's called Awesome Kong's WWE career. That's called karma, bitch.
I got to the Rotten Tomatoes thing with Malcolm, and he prices right in me. So,
I'll be honest. I turned it on, and there were four. Go ahead, Jordan.
No, you go. I'm sorry.
No, you go, Cheese Doodle.
Okay, String Cheese. I'm sorry, names. No, I'm usually pretty good around tomatoes, but I underestimated the love of Donnie Darko.
Yeah. What was the movie, Richie?
I underestimated the kind of ambivalence towards the island.
The island, 74.
No, ambivalence. No. I'd say right at 52.
Yeah, you would have beaten me, Matt. It was 58, I think.
See.
Yeah, I said 35, but yeah, I should have gone higher because it's not a bad movie.
It has been nice all day, and it's just starting to absolutely pour down rain outside.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Washington anytime. Let's talk wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's what we're here for. Okay, sorry.
Wrestling. Yeah, I get it. I get the gist. What's going on?
And let's start with, because apparently I'm just a bad girlfriend. Boom. You guys happy? Hell in a Cell.
We can go back. We can go back if you want. I don't mind.
It's okay. Let's talk about Hell in a Cell 2022, because I realize now after saying that one of our news items has to do with it would be weird to go back to Hell in a Cell after that.
I see what you're saying. Right on.
Yeah. So let's do this first.
You guys ever heard cheer wine? It's pretty good soft drink.
Have you ever heard of Budweiser?
You have a drinking problem? This is an intervention.
I have no problem with it.
So no pre-show over on Hell in a Cell, or no matches rather. There's an hour of them talking, which is also very annoying if you do watch it, because then the pay-per-view goes, here's the same packages again. You get kind of spited by watching the show, in my opinion. But we start off with the Raw Women's title match, triple threat, Bianca Belair defeating Asuka and Becky Lynch. You even got times. You got times. I actually had a second shorter, but that's just my times. I might have rounded down.
I went to Wikipedia, and they're not always correct. So
no, that's fine. I literally had 1855, but I might have rounded down. I don't know.
You had to go in corner fights for being nitpicky, and then here we are, like 5 minutes into a stream on it, and you being nitpicky.
And well, no. Hold on, Richie. Now we got to talk about this. We're already off the rails. You're nitpicky on like my comments. Like I tell a story about Blues Brothers, and you're like, "Hold on, the time frame doesn't totally check out in my mind." I'm just nitpicky about things that has nothing. Yours is an attack on me. My nitpick had nothing to do with you, Richie. That's where it hurts, Richie. That you attack me personally. But hey, so triple threat. Good match. I wasn't sure exactly which way it was going to go. I thought there was a possibility of a big Asuka win, or even Becky getting it back. Becky and Seth, I feel like they sometimes plot together because they're both really entertaining heels for me right now. She's kind of got like a Lady Gaga vibe going on. She's starting to really lose it. I'm entertained by Becky here. So Bianca retains it, though. It's fine. We see on Raw that it's leading to her and Rhea Ripley. That's kind of a cool match for the next pay-per-view. So I'm down with that as well. And good match here. Good way to start off. Nice hot opener with 3 very talented wrestlers.
Yeah, I thought this was probably the better match on the show. I think it was really good. I actually thought, like we'll talk about later, I thought they could have almost called an audible and put this in the Hell in a Cell if they're gonna have a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, only one cell match this year. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe even Bobby Lashley and almost was about to be one, the way they were kind of teasing like we picked the match, but only one this year, which I don't hate. Because like I'll admit, like I'm torn. Like, what are your guys' opinion? I like when there's more than one, because then it's like, oh, you get more bang for your buck. But at the same time, it does make that one a little more special.
People are like either like one way or like the other. They're like, oh, okay, one's fine, or they're like, oh, every match should be in Hell in a Cell. I'm like, no, we don't want to be like lockdown TNA. That's kind of
there was a moment in the pre-show where the cage was already down. And I was like, are they going to do a lockdown? Because I was like, oh, wait, they're WWE. Because I'm thinking indie-wise. I actually did an indie show once in Miami. And that was the discussion of, like, it takes a while to put up a cage and tear down a cage. So you got to either do it after intermission or, like, open with the cage and then do an intermission. So they literally decided to do a lockdown just because they're like, it's fucking easier.
Do you know, like lockdown, like that whole concept was based on a joke. It was like literally, it was like only a couple of matches going to be in the cage for this pay per view, and then Dusty was booking. It's like, imagine if we had all the matches in the cage, and Dixie was like, that's a great idea, and he was joking, and it just became.
Is Dixie's thing of like, let's do it.
He wasn't being serious, but yeah. But no, this match is great actually. Going back to this match, there's great chemistry from all three. Like Bianca is so over right now. I think it's great that someone who's not a 4-horse, because always like the 4 horsewomen and Asuka. But it's great that someone beyond the 4 horsemen is like really over. So I'm hoping that they keep a train going. Issues sometimes with because WWE has a habit of like piping in fake crowd noise. You can't really tell sometimes if someone's over, but you could definitely tell that Bianca's over here. It's a really good match. I liked the finish where I know some people are iffy where it's kind of a bit heelish. She stole Becky's pin. But like I actually think it's just being at her own game, and I thought that was cool. That was she outsmarted the heel. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I'm assuming eventually that was probably like Bianca and Becky probably aren't over. It wouldn't be surprise me if they do Bianca and Becky at SummerSlam. But yeah, no, it's a good match.
Yeah, really solid opener. I think it's easily my second favorite match of the night. Great way to open the show and get the crowd into it. I think had Asuka not been in the match, like I think it would have warranted that Hell in a Cell stipulation, but Because I think it really should be like a feud ender, like the main event was, or just really bad blood between two people, and it's like, all right, it's time. Let's just get in the cell and beat the crap out of each other and see who the better person is. So I like that it wasn't in the cell with Asuka involved, but had it been in the cell, I still think it would have been fantastic. Yeah, I agree, Richie. I think it wasn't a heel move. The finish, I think it was just Bianca beating Becky at her own game, and it's like, all right, let me show you who the better woman is, and today it's me. I like where they're going, Bianca and Rhea. I think it's going to be a fun match. But as far as this match goes, I think it was a great opener and easily one of the best matches of the night.
I'll be back. You keep talking.
No, we'll wait.
Well, we don't want to, make this a handicap discussion, do we?
What?
Because the next match is a handicap match.
No, is it? Was Wikipedia wrong?
Am I wrong?
Order? Let me check because the match I had going on second, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I'm wrong. You're right.
Oh, okay.
I missed. Okay, no, you're right.
Yeah, handicap match. Bobby Lashley defeating Omos and MVP. See, again, I have 8:15. Now I'm wrong, I think. But I mean, this was fine. I was actually surprised. This is one I predicted wrong. Actually, I think I'm 0-2 right now in my predictions. By the way, just with my friends, because I actually kind of thought maybe Becky might get it back, and I also thought Omos would get the big win here because I feel like didn't he lose already to Lashley and. But it seems like we're maybe building to maybe a future like Lashley Roman. I don't know. It seems like they're building Lashley up again. Maybe U.S. title run as well.
He did pick up the title at the from the fan at the end and kind of made his intentions known.
Yeah, which was actually kind of interesting. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. Him like, give me her toy belt real quick. So I mean, this was fine. This is one of my problems with WWE. Say what you will about Double or Nothing. Those are all, for the most part, pretty fresh matches. This is now third time in a row that we've got Lashley and Omos. You got the slight, change in MVP here, and I love MVP. Poor Cedric too. I kind of hate the fact that he's, he was killed the next night on Raw. He's so talented. I wish they'd find something for him to do. He's just kind of in this position of Lashley doesn't want him, Omos doesn't want him, and he's jobbed out, squashed. So I feel bad for Cedric here. So this was fine. I wouldn't say it was dreadful, but it wasn't anything special either here. This could have been a Raw match, but it was here. It was
Yeah. I think better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I would say that too. I think my favorite part of the match wasn't even a good part of the match. It was just like how they've ever done the barricade spot where a big guy kind of spears someone through the barricade. They do it all the time with big guys, but then Omos is, and then Barney Saxon's like, look how fast he's going. He's like, he's not going fast at all, dude. It's literally just a brisk jog.
It just makes big strides.
Yeah, and he was hardly and it was just So like that. But I don't know. It wasn't bad in the sense that nothing was really messed up. But I think my favorite part of the match is just the MVP just track at the start, building out the match. That was about it.
That we saw for the third time.
Yeah. I just I'm just So I hopefully, given if you see it on Raw, it looks like he's moved away from this feud, but you never know. They'll go back. They'll probably go back to it. I think there's only a limited things you can do with Omos. They always like to push these big guys who, because it's like Vince's, the kind of almost like Vince's toys, like the really big big dudes that have really limited ability. So, and there's only so much you can do with him. I think I bet you in 6 months to a year he'll be a comedy heel. A comedy baby face, like Ray Kelly.
I think we already got Shanky dancing on SmackDown, so that's happened to him already.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear me say this a lot about these middle matches. It was good. I didn't hate it. So I liked the inclusion of MVP, but Bobby Lashley got the win. He's up 2-1 in the series. It's let it be done. Let Bobby move on to a more serious threat to him, and Omos and MVP can squash people that should be squashed, and not Cedric Alexander.
Cedric should be like he should be like a decent challenger for like the United States title or something. Like I know he was at one point a couple of years ago, like with I can't remember who was challenging, but like it was like I think he'd make a good US champion, but they don't see anything in him, unfortunately. I guess I don't see anything in him, unfortunately. But he's a really
and I mistakenly thought this was actually a good sign, the fact that he was involved in this match, and then the next night on Raw, it's like nah, nah.
So it is what it is. This felt like it could have been a blow off match on a Raw though, but
yeah.
They put it on the paper. It is a B pay-per-view, so you got to fill it with something.
Well, you know what you could have filled it with? Ricochet versus Gunther. Instead of they did that on SmackDown for the Intercontinental title. Put the Intercontinental title on the show. Anyway.
No, Rich is 100% right. Like that's kind of my problem. We all kind of said it. No one hates this match, but I also don't feel like any of us really cared either. You know what I mean? I kind of nothing to this match because it's a match we've seen now 3 pay-per-views in a row. When meanwhile you have a unique match for a major title not on the show. Why? Why is Ricochet and Gunther 2 guys? Gunther's still pretty brand new as far as being on the main roster. Like that could have been a great way to build him. You know what I mean? Ricochet unfortunately doesn't get enough credit as a singles competitor on pay-per-view. Like instead we got this. This is a Raw match. That's a pay-per-view match, but
it is what it is.
No, you fight the system, Jacob.
Well, not to mention too.
Change the past, Jordan.
Not to mention, SmackDown only had 1 match in the whole show.
What?
Yeah. Hell in a Cell, there was only 1 SmackDown match. So.
Oh, you mean the brand? Okay, I was about to say, did they do a 2-hour show this week?
No. SmackDown only had 1 match.
No, I get you now. Well, yeah, that's well.
Yeah, no. Looking at it, he's right. No SmackDown women's match. No,
that's pretty shitty. Yeah.
The SmackDown match was like it's not a match I wanted to see anyway. Anyway,
no main title match. No Intercontinental. No tag team title. Like there were only 2 title matches, and this one, which followed, Kevin Owens defeated Ezekiel.
Hey, for the first time, our times agree.
Hey, in about 9 minutes and 20 seconds. This again, like I said, you're gonna hear me say this for most of these matches up until the main event. This match was good. Again, like it didn't feel like a pay-per-view match. Like I get that this is the first time they're I'm pretty sure leading up, like they only met in tag teams and stuff. So this is the first time in the singles match. I'm not sure I agree with Kevin Owens getting the win. So that's the only thing. But as far as the match goes, like I was entertained by it. It was good. I love how much Kevin Owens talks while he's in the ring. I think it's a good choice for his character. He can talk and he can back it up in the ring. So again, it was a good match, but nothing that I'm gonna talk about if we do our favorite matches of the year at the end of the year. Like this is not gonna come up. I mean,
this is not coming up with my favorite matches of June, let alone of the year.
Yeah, something coming up with my favorite matches of the week.
Yeah. I mean, how many? Top 30, maybe? No.
If you rank every match from the week that you watched, maybe.
But no, I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement on here. I don't mind this one even less than the handicap being on pay-per-view because at least it's actually a built-to fresh match to a degree. Like I will give it credit in that. Like they put time into this storyline. They've done a lot of build-up, and like you said, there's been some tag team interactions. But I just double-checked. This was their first singles interaction. So, and looks like we're still going. Too. We saw on Raw that there's going to be a big old rematch here. He said he was Elias, and then said, "I just lied to you, Kevin. I pulled a Kevin, and I'm just Ezekiel." So this feud's not totally done yet either. I think.
Yeah, if I'm Kevin Owens, I'm going to say, "Well, then no, you don't get a match."
Yeah, that's the annoying thing. I didn't mind this match, but he but at the end of the day, like Kevin Owens pinned him clean in the middle of the ring with a stunner. And then it's like, no, you get a ring. No, that seemed like a bluff of the feud, actually. It's like he beat you fair and square. Why? I agree with Kevin Owens. You don't get a match. I beat you fair and square. No, like, you couldn't beat me. That's your problem. Move on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like now, how long are we gonna milk this now? If it's a Raw match, that's cool, fine, whatever. If this ends up being a freaking Money in the Bank match, again, I'm gonna care less. Like, just care less about that handicap match.
I think like if it was anybody else involved with Ezekiel, it might not have worked. Maybe Sami Zayn could make it work. But like if it's like those two, I think that Kevin Owens, because he's entertaining, he's made it entertaining. Because like it must. It's like you've gone from main eventing Mania versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in his last match to taking on Ezekiel in the middle of the pay-per-view, but he makes it work. And like this match is fine. But yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know where you like. Obviously they're doing a rematch, but I don't know where you go after that with Ezekiel. I guess eventually he's just gonna have to. I guess eventually he's just gonna come back as Elias. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if he wins Money in the Bank. I don't know if I want to see that. But yeah,
I'm still on the over under of will this get a payoff, because I am very interested in what the payoff, not to this feud, just to Elias and Ezekiel in general. What is the payoff going to be? And I hope WWE, you have a plan, and you're not just Eric Rowan something in a boxing this, or just going to give up. So please have an out, because I'm interested to a degree. I'm not hating any of this. I mean, it is what it is, and like none of these matches are blowing me away, but I'm slightly entertained. Kevin Owens does fucking his best in making you care with these lie detectors, and he's funny. So let's just see what the out is in the end.
I mean, I like Kevin Owens' theory that Ezekiel is Elias, and Elias had an older brother, or Ezekiel had an older brother named Elias, and Elias is no longer with us. So as a tribute to him, when he first came to WWE, he called himself Elias, but now that he left and came back, he's just calling himself Ezekiel because that is his name. He gets it. Becky Lynch agreed with him. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a backstage segment and an interview. I mean, it makes perfect sense. He was just paying homage to his older brother who is now gone, and now he just wants to be known by his real name. He shaved his beard, and now he is Ezekiel.
Yeah,
makes perfect sense.
The problem is like he looked. I mean, and it's probably like by design, but he like Elias. Him as Elias looked so much like cooler. He had a cool character, cool gimmick. Like Ezekiel's I could create him if he wasn't on the WWE 2K22. I could create him in 5 minutes.
You didn't like the Ultimate Warrior arm ribbons that he had on Sunday?
No.
Yeah, he looks like a late '80s creative wrestler.
He looks like a jobber. He looks like a geek. Just.
Well, he did do the job.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next match. We got the big 6-person tag team match of the Judgment Day defeating Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan in just over 16 minutes, which is very short for an Edge match.
Yeah.
True. And you think with more people, it would be triple the length.
But yeah.
Hopefully AJ is okay. It looks like he took a kind of a nasty cut. I saw a video that a fan took, and he was spilling a little bit. So hopefully he's okay. I can't remember if he was on Raw or not because
he was not.
I don't watch Raw.
He wasn't.
I don't waste 3 hours of my life on that.
I don't. But I fast forward, so about an hour and a half. I waste.
Just watching highlights. I feel like AJ has had a run of just unfortunate things. Didn't he got cut open by his own pyro like last pay per view, which is weird. But yeah, look, this match was good, but I will get into it. But I want to point it out. Edge pinned Finn Balor. That's important to note. Edge pinned Finn Balor.
That took over. Yeah.
Yes.
So I again, it's one of the pieces of news that we have later, but if we want to talk about it now and just lump it all
No,
together,
we'll mold it. Yeah, mold it all together because one goes with the other.
yeah.
All right.
So as far as the match goes, I thought the match was really good. I mean, everyone involved, obviously, you have just the recipe for a really good match, and that's what we got. Rhea and Liv worked really well together. Priest and Edge against Balor and AJ. That was really good. And the match was really good, as I expected it to be. It was my third favorite match of the night. What I don't get is the very next night. What's going on?
So okay, yeah. So Judgment Day came out. Like, well, we're gonna reveal a fourth member. The fourth member is Finn Balor. Okay, fair enough. And then Damian Priest gets on the microphone. It's like, look, Edge, you taught us a lot about but we got to basically cut what's holding us back. And that's you, Edge. They beat him up. Edge won the match. How are they holding him back? And like that, I don't understand. He pinned Finn Balor. You're aligning yourself with the loser, and I don't understand the logic behind this. I think it feels like a WCW swerve to do a swerve. It doesn't make any sense. And then like later on, Rhea, but went to the contender thing, contender to fight Bianca at Money in the Bank, and then they're posing with Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and they hit Edge's music. It doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. Apparently, and they wanted to go the WWE wanted the Judgment Day to go into a supernatural sort of direction, and Edge opposed that, and that's why they got rid of him. But also because as we'll get into, they're pretty light on the babyface side. But again, that's your problem. You should build up more babyface people to be stars, and not rely on people who are in their 40s. So
build it up and think 2 steps ahead. Richie makes good points too of Finn's the one that lost the match, so why all of a sudden are they he's the one that will really take us to the next level, even though we've been kicking his ass for weeks. I'm looking at it now as far as matches go. I know they've done promos together. There was one mixed tag on May 23rd, and then the 6-man tag on June 5th, and that is the entirety of the Judgment Day as far as in-ring competition goes. This thing had potential too. Promos were good. It was getting over. Fans were booing Edge. Edge, a guy that we, absolutely, jizzed over returning a couple of years back. People were booing him because he was good at getting heat. And, it was cool seeing them do something with Ripley, something with Priest. I was for it, man. I was for Balor even joining. It was a weird kind of lackluster turn at first, where it's just simply here's a countdown, and now he's with us. And then they turn on him, man, and it just seems like, again, all for naught. Like Richie said, it seems like a twist for a twist as far as the fans are concerned. And again, they kill a faction that had potential. Obviously, the faction is not done now, but I feel like you just lost. Damian Priest is an okay talker. Finn's okay. Ripley's okay. Nobody's as good as Edge. This thing's not good. Yes, yes. And I don't want to doubt it because I like all 3 of these people, but they're not going to get this over as nearly as much as Edge could have. And think 2 steps ahead. If you think you're light on faces, if you don't agree with the direction of the group, don't start the fucking group then. Talk it over for a few months, And it just seems like, again, it's hard to get into something within WWE. Like I said, with the Ezekiel thing, with this, because in the back of my mind, it's always is this even going to be a thing in a couple months? You know what I mean? Hurt Business was awesome and ended too soon. This Hurt Business seems like they were the 4 horsemen compared to Judgment Day now. Because it seemed like they lasted forever comparatively. So yeah, this irks me, man, because Edge, and you think about it, Edge was a major dick up until getting beat up by his proteges. So are we now supposed to cheer Edge? Edge was calling us idiots.
Poor Edge. Yeah,
that's a really weird thing if we're now supposed to view him as a face and cheer him when it's wait, but you hated us until your friends attacked you. Why am I supposed to care now? So yeah, the whole thing I'm not a fan of yet. I'll give some hopes for the future, but not much hope.
Are they just going to revert back to his old music? Because his whole new music is like, you think you know me, you never did, and then that's the heel music, and he had new Alter Bridge theme. So now is he just going to revert back to the other Alter Bridge song? Like,
bring back Rob Zombie. Come on. Bring back the Rob Zombie music. That's what I want.
You guys see the Munsters teaser? Okay, sorry, wrong show.
Yeah, no, as a kind of off topic, but yes, I did, and I'm very curious to see what Rob Zombie does with a more family-friendly movie.
Yeah, I actually, for some reason, because it's zombie, I assumed this was like an R-rated take, and they were gonna murder people. But no, it's a PG movie, evidently.
They're not Winnie the Poohing it. No, they're not Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot what that meant.
But no, as far as this whole Judgment Day Edge thing, I'm cool with Finn Balor joining the group. I'm not cool with them kicking Edge out yet. Obviously, if they wanted to do that, tease the tension, build the tension between, maybe Edge loses his edge.
Yeah,
and
have Edge fuck up and then go, okay, you're holding us down. Not Edge lead you to victory and then go, we hate you.
I wonder if AJ was supposed to take the pin in the match, but since he was like, actually maybe he's legitimately hurt, and because since he wasn't on Raw, they had to like call an audible, and Finn Balor ended up taking the pin for that reason. I don't know.
Possible, but I don't know.
If the plan finished the whole time was for Finn Balor to take the pin, then yeah, him joining the group as essentially the leader the very next night does not make any sense at all. So
it's not hard to build a turn too. Like one of the best turns, I reckon, like 2005 when Batista finally turned on Evolution. Like that, like that's what we talked about. That was amazing build up for a while, and it was first subtle, and then the whole thumbs up, thumbs down. That's great. Like made Batista a star in one night, So it's like not that like when you build a faction, should you think about how you're going to break them up quickly? But still, there's a way to do it. But yeah, like they should have been. I feel like. You should at least be a faction for about a year before you even sort of think about,
They don't keep teams together that long anymore.
Except for like the New Day.
Except for the New Day.
I'll give him one credit in the RK Bro. Like that's definitely something I thought would have been done by now. But like, yeah, I mean, a year. I do agree with technically at least a few months. Like I said, this is literally a group that started at Mania. That was the very beginning. Was Priest like in the corner of Edge all of a sudden, and that was April. That was early April. We're in early June, and it is done with. And as far as the 3-person group, like that had just began in the last month. So. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same thing, man. I'll complain and I'll probably still watch Monday, but I just hopes that it'll get better and watch for the things that are good. But the bad is definitely mind-boggling sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's see where they go. And if they were worried about not having enough faces because Cody's injured, Finn Balor can fill that role.
Yeah,
Finn Balor can get over with the fans.
We tried, and then they gave him like a heart attack, or what was the weird thing they did to him? Oh, the rope broke, which was never fucking explained.
The rope broke, and then he had like this mini seizure thing on the one. Yeah, it's like.
You know how unglued that arena would have been if Finn Balor beat Roman Reigns for the championship? They would have gone insane. But whatever.
I mean, you got options. We still haven't seen the Drew rematch. We still haven't seen. You could have done Lashley. You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff to do.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Madcap Moss gets a shot.
This is a SmackDown match. This is the only SmackDown
match. No holds barred. Coming in at just over 12 minutes. I don't know what time you have, Jordan, but it's probably pretty close.
Yeah, right there. I have 12:08.
I enjoyed this match. Like it was, I had zero expectations for this match going in. I was like, let's just get this feud over with now. But the match, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the the hardcore spots, and right guy won, and that's pretty much all I have to say about this match. Is like I was entertained, and the result was the right one. So, just all right, cool.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this match. I don't Madcap Moss or Moss now, where he's going to be called. He's not as over as WWE would want it to be. Even though I see you piped in crowd noise when he comes out. WWE. I don't think I'm not blind to that. They want him over so bad, but like it's like I think at the end of the match, he was kind of getting over, but like I think the crowd were more into just tables, and I liked how Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin played on that, and then just sort of, and then like Seth Rollins paid off it later on. But I like this match was fine. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I have no interest in this feud. Unfortunately, I'm sure, Moss tries hard, but I'm just not like. You're gonna have to do a bit of trying to get me interested in whatever he does next. There's not much. I don't know, character there. I don't know if he needs a manager. I don't care. I don't really. And Baron Corbin, like if you see him on outside, it'd be like on up, down, down and stuff like that. He's got a lot of personality. He just not, and he's really funny, but he's not that. I don't know. I wish that was brought out in his on screen because I think he could get over, but I'm just not really that invested in either of these guys at the moment. But it was a fine match. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Shout out to Tyler Breeze also returning to Up, Down, Down.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm a little sad that I don't know if that means he's done wrestling. He hasn't done any wrestling since the release, but happy to see him back on the YouTube channel. But I'm pretty much with you guys in this. Yeah. Again, I can't hate it too much. Like it served its purpose. I thought it was relatively entertaining. I'm not 100% sold on Madcap Moss, but I'm definitely I'm starting to warm up a little bit to him now. You know what I mean? They're really trying hard with him. So we'll see. My hopes are out there. Obviously, he's been a guy that's been around for a little bit now. He's had a couple of start and stops. They started him with Mojo, that stopped. They started another time. So they're really kind of going full hog with him at the moment here. So right now I don't mind it.
Yeah, I could see Gunther taking the Intercontinental Championship off of Ricochet, and then maybe Madcap being a challenger, and I think that could be a decent match. But then
I'm down for that.
I'm not sure where. Like, I feel like he's just going to be one of those that you build and he wins, but he never wins the big one. Like he doesn't strike me as a champion.
He strikes you as a Baron Corbin.
Yes. Except Baron Corbin has won championships. But
you said big one. Like I thought you meant
I don't even think maybe he holds a US or an IC for a month, but I think
there's potential for it for sure. I mean, it really depends. WWE sometimes is very high on people for a little bit and then they cool off. So it's hard to tell if in 6 months they'll still be high on him or if he'll fallen off like a lot of others. Yeah. So I think it's possible. Like I said, I'd like the call of maybe a Gunther Madcap for maybe SummerSlam or so. I'm cool with that.
I could also. I mean, I don't know if they'll actually put a title on him, but he could be an interesting contender for winning the Money in the Bank or something. I think he'll definitely be in that match.
I think he'll be in Money in the Bank. I think one of Kevin Owens or Ezekiel will also be in Money in the Bank. Maybe a Bobby Lashley. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But in a company that puts the NXT title on Dolph Ziggler in 2021, anything is possible.
Again, that's not a discussion. I don't mind that. I think he gets people over.
No, I didn't mind it either. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think they'd actually go through with it, but
I don't know if we're going to get into it, but it looks like they could be doing the same to Apollo Crews, who showed up on NXT.
Yeah, I read about that because again, I don't actually watch the weekly shows.
I don't. And NXT is weird. I don't know. They've done stuff recently with Natalya. Even the Mysterios popped up for 1 week. So sometimes people go in just to have something to do, just to give a little bit more spice to NXT, and then sometimes it is like a run like a Ziggler and whatnot. So it's hard to say what they're going to do with Apollo. It's possible though, and he's in kind of the vein of a Ziggler where he's not really doing a hell of a lot right now.
Yeah, but they took his accent away.
Yeah.
What does Commander Aziz do now, guys?
He gets released in about 3 months.
Probably, and that's not me like saying I want to see that. That's just me saying likely because they jobbed him to Omos. They're higher on Omos, and he hasn't done shit. And
Yeah.
Ooh, Guerrero Benoit. Let's go. Oh, sorry.
Guerrero and who?
Redacted.
Name redacted.
Yeah. Sorry, I have Armageddon 2002 on in the background.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. WWE sure does like to have people lose in their hometowns.
Oh, really? I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah. Theory, who is no longer going by Austin, apparently.
That's stupid.
Yeah. You'll add to Seth Rollins, but you'll take away everyone else's first name.
And things I don't get to is like, okay, if he was like a crazy scientist character named Theory, that would make sense. But he's just a dude. He's a dude. He's a douchey dude. Why does he not have a fucking first name all of a sudden? Why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Are we supposed to believe that his parents called him, looked at him, and Theory? That's the name.
Yeah. Are we supposed to believe that? And then also too, like, it's also again. Think 2 steps ahead. Like you've been fucking drilling Austin since NXT, his first call up with Garza. Like all of a sudden now he's missing a name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? I don't know. I just again think 2 steps ahead. When you sign him, go, your name now is this. The end. You know what I mean? Raquel Rodriguez, all of a sudden, nah, you're Gonzalez now. As your first action figure drops, and you were a dominant NXT Women's Champion under a different name, you know? I don't know. We talk about names. This theory's another one of them where it's just like, I don't get why.
And wasn't Mustafa Ali just Ali at one point, and now he's back?
Yeah, he got his name back. That was good.
He personally fought for that. He thought it was a little too. I think it was for like personal reasons of like no, like call me by my full name. You know, don't just genderize me with one name. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So
yeah. I'm cynical about this, man. I feel like it was a decent match, but I feel like the US title's only on the cards to have Mustafa Ali lose in his hometown. And so
I didn't think about that as a punishment. I mean, I'll go ahead and give the match props of as far as you got 2 young guys on a main show fighting for a title that was ignored at Mania time. So I'm happy for it in that stance. I think they both have loads of potential. I mean, Theory since Evolve days, I was like, this is a dude that Vince is probably going to really like, and obviously it worked out almost that exact way here. I'm glad Mustafa's back on TV because now, if he wants, hopefully when that contract's up, he can go somewhere else. Because if he hadn't come back, they could have kept holding him.
However, it's annoying because like this is in theory, not in pun intended. This should be a fresh match. But they couldn't help themselves, and they did to build this match. They did this match on Raw. It's like no, I want to.
Yeah. No, that's definitely that's definitely played in the back of my mind of like you kind of gave us this to a large degree already, which is never good for a pay per view.
And I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you notice on commentary that they dropped a couple like John Cena references?
No.
Like they talked about like the ruthless, like that's ruthless aggression. They mentioned that.
It definitely looks like
John Cena in like I think it was like a TikTok interview or something. Mentioned like which superstar deserves an attitude adjustment the most, and he said Theory. Like he mentioned Theory a couple times. So I don't know if like maybe that's the SummerSlam match that they're building to. Maybe it's going to be, and maybe Theory like they do something with Theory and Cena when he comes back on the 27th.
I see that happening. I think it's a SummerSlam match. I think it's a good match for Theory. I think
which just shows how high they are on Theory and how much faith they have in him. If they're putting him in a program with Cena, like he's going to return for Theory, like that's a big match for Theory. Yeah. So before that, I like this is the one match that I had predicted wrong. I thought, well, no, this is the second one because I thought Ezekiel would beat KO, and I thought maybe they'd give Mustafa Ali the title, give him the hometown pop, and then maybe Theory wins it back the next night on Raw because they've done that before. But got it wrong. But as far as the match goes, I thought it was really good. Again, like Jordan said, two young guys getting a slot on a pay-per-view, and I think they made the most of the time they were given. And yeah, it was really good. A solid match to go before the main event.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who Theory's next challenger could be. Maybe
Bobby Lashley, maybe.
Yeah, I thought they were hinting towards Lashley in a world title run, or at least an opportunity. But then on Raw, it makes it seem like it's going to be Lashley now with the U.S. title.
like I said, I didn't watch Raw, so I'm ahead of you guys.
We're filling in the blinks from what I can
Fill in
remember.
the gaps. Wow, it is really raining outside now. Welcome to Washington. Anytime. All right, main event time. And no, I'm sorry, I did not get a picture of Cody Rhodes because it's too graphic. Come on. But Cody Rhodes did defeat Seth freaking Rollins in the cell in 24-21. In a match that, let's be honest, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen at all.
Yeah.
I was no, just because this is something that if you had to cancel, like you gotta solve that and let people know right away. Like yeah, they were gonna come to the main event and go, okay, by the way, Theory Mustafa's main event. Good night. Like you know what I mean?
No, I knew like as the show started, I knew
Oh,
okay,
okay,
they're gonna
yeah.
go through the match. But like before the show actually started, I was like,
Yeah, all the
"Are you
news
gonna
of
announce
like
something?"
yeah. No, and like, you know, to a degree, you could definitely argue like should the match have been canceled? You know what I mean? Because definitely a gnarly moment of I didn't even know what the injury was. Like I didn't really look that much into it. So at first I was like, man, he's fine. And then he takes out the jacket. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Fine.
So
Yeah.
like you know, you could argue like lots of kudos, but also you could argue like, dude, why? You know what I mean? Because people like Triple H have had that injury before, where it just it succumbs. And I thought it was a great match, though. So much emotion behind it here. Love the Seth Rollins. Love the Seth Rollins coming out in the polka dots.
Polka dots.
This dude, man. I give Seth a lot of credit, man. He's on my GOAT list as far as like right now. You know, this at this moment, like this dude's I find him so entertaining since he's been like the kind of drip god ever since he kind of ended the thing with like Buddy Matthews and whatnot, and he just become this kind of like cocky. I love the stuff he wears. I want to like buy my own like suits of every suit I've ever seen him wear. And yeah,
You should do a fashion show and just have all those suits he's worn.
oh my god, yeah.
It's a
Let's
freaking
do.
talent show.
There's a top 5 for us. Top 5 Seth Rollins outfits. We can discuss one night. So no, but no, I thought this was great, man. I like this match. So much emotion behind it here, and you almost thought too. Like another thought I had was, I don't know, maybe they'll do like a quick 10-12 minute match. You know what I mean? Kind of go home a little early. You know what I mean for Cody, but no, they went nearly 25 freaking minutes here, man, and it was really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm in that sort of camp where I don't know, but I don't think it should have gone ahead. It's a bit kind of it makes it look bad if like something really worse could happen. But I guess maybe their feeling was like I got torn off the bone, can't get injured any worse. But like yeah, it was tough to watch at times. But yeah, like credit to Seth. And like I think Seth I think still doesn't get credit to be literally just one of the best in the world at the moment. I think he's just endlessly entertaining. And yeah, I think he's great, and yeah, this match that's like given all the injury and everything, like it's phenomenal that he was able to pull off a match like he did, even working the peg into the match, like the grinding the kendo stick into the peg that was kind of gross, but like and then like I see a lot of people going oh well, man, Seth looked bad. He shouldn't have lost it. They should have gone audible. He shouldn't have lost this match. It's like I think Seth is a guy that could lose. Like he's one of those guys that are so over. He's a made guy. Like he could lose 20 times. It won't hurt him one bit. So that was
a discussion we were having online too. Was like he's the kind of guy like you don't need to necessarily give him a title anytime soon. He's good and he's over.
Yeah. So and yeah, like I think the match is good. I did love how, I mean, they rid him off Cody off TV the next night on Raw, but I did like how Cody was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming for Money in the Bank." It's like, no, you're not, man.
I mean, to be fair, he did say that he was just going to climb the ladder. So maybe it's like another Brock Lesnar situation where he just comes in and he's like, all right, let me just climb this ladder with my one arm, take down this briefcase, and all right.
But
I'll see you guys in 6 months when I'm fully healthy.
Imagine if the victim was Mustafa Ali again. It's just like, yeah, this time with me. I'm going to do it this time again. And then Cody, oh, for fuck's sake.
No, I think maybe the plan was for him to win Money in the Bank. I mean, I think that's not crazy to think, but now maybe he comes back if he can return the Rumble. Yeah, I think maybe he's the Rumble winner unless the
Cody's still gonna make it to Money in the Bank. Cody's gonna come out.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that he finally hit the pedigree as well. Like he teased it in the first 2 matches, and that now he finally hit it.
Yeah. Also, full credit to Cody, man. He's been he's definitely done a lot for the fan. Thanks, Austin. He's done. He definitely like puts it all out there for the fans. There's a dude that not long. I think a few months ago went through a flaming table. That was insane. He took a cutter.
Shout out to Andrade in that match too, putting him out.
Yeah, he took a cutter from the top of the ladder, top one to the ladder from Sammy Guevara, which looked gnarly as hell. And a couple of years ago, he did a tope suicide to the outside, and he landed on his face on the ramp, and he still got a scar. The dude definitely goes all out for it. I hope he doesn't get hurt like extremely bad. I hope it hurts his career, but like. I do have full credit to Cody. I think when he comes back, he's going to be the biggest babyface ever. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're not building to Rock versus Roman, which they teased of all places on Young Rock, I don't know if that was just something they put in as like just to troll fans or whatever, or if that was like a legitimate tease. But if the plan isn't Rock Roman, I think Cody Roman is a worthy WrestleMania main event, just with the way Cody's presenting himself now after being away from the company for 6 years. I think this feud helped put him over tremendously, like with the fans. Like now that he's gone, it's like who's going to be that big baby face? Oh, right, it's going to be Edge.
Yes, Edge. But Bobby Lashley there is really over now too.
So Lashley, McIntyre. Hopefully McIntyre's over that stuff with the New Day and Sheamus. I wouldn't mind the Sheamus McIntyre singles feud, but I mean,
they had that a couple years ago.
I know, but I know we've had it, but let's be honest. Like 2 just big hard hitting guys. Like I wouldn't mind another like just give them a SummerSlam match. Give them 15 to 20 minutes. Let them just beat the crap out of each other. Come on. If McIntyre's not going for the title,
I'm almost certain that it's going to be Reigns and McIntyre at that Wales pay-per-view. That makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they can beat him in his home country.
Well, he's from Scotland, but yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, because apparently they pulled Reigns. I don't know how accurate this is. I don't even know where I read it. It was just a blurb on Facebook. But apparently Reigns has been pulled from Money in the Bank too. So I don't know.
I thought they were going to go Matt Riddle for. They look like they're bidding Riddle for that spot.
I also thought so. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe we get Riddle, Reigns at Money in the Bank. I love what they're doing with Riddle. By the way, right now, I think Riddle he could be put in that Cody Rhodes position. Like, build him up. He's over.
Oh, yeah. You definitely could do a Riddle versus Roman match. Oh, wait, they've been kind of already building it. That probably is going to be the match, actually. There's your SummerSlam, and then your big Wales pay-per-view is your Drew. Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like, they probably want to do. They might do. It depends on the health of Randy, but I feel like if they're the choice, they'll probably go with Roman and Randy at SummerSlam. But
no, I disagree. The way Riddles has been talking, he wants the tribal chief. They keep playing. They played his music, which fucked over Riddle. Like they've definitely been teasing like Riddle wants revenge, not just to give it to Randy. I know. I think Riddle and Roman's definitely something they've already built to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like if are they looking at Riddle as a SummerSlam main event kind of guy?
I think he's big enough. And who knows if they also do something else that's also big.
And also, I
John
think you just
Cena.
got. I think you just got to bite the gun sometimes, bite the bullet sometimes, and just kind of like, we'll give him a main event slot, see how it plays out. So, yeah.
What else are they gonna do, Edge?
Yeah, it's like
no, not again, please.
Not again. Yeah.
Although last time Daniel Bryan was involved, so we, anyway, yeah, great match, great way to end the show. Out of 10, what are you giving the show as a whole, Richie?
Surprisingly, just because it was probably shorter and it had more these matches, I'm giving it a slightly higher score than Double or Nothing. I'll go 8.
Wow. Okay, Jordan.
I'll go a little bit lower. You know what I mean? Good opener. A couple of all right, that belongs on a show. You know, a good 6-man main event. So I don't hate nothing. So I'm gonna say a 7. Several things I didn't care about to that large, but nothing I was dreadful. And like you said, it was kind of short. You know what I mean? And it started good and good. So 7 fits right to me.
Yeah, I'm also going slightly higher than Double or Nothing, which I hate to compare, but that's what people do nowadays. Whereas I think with Double or Nothing, my expectations were higher, and just some of them weren't met. Whereas with this premium live event, I didn't have any expectations except for the main event, and like they were met and or exceeded. So I'm gonna go 7.5. It was a solid show. I mean, and if you have 2.5 to 3 hours to kill and you want to watch a wrestling show that you haven't seen yet, like, yeah, why not put this one on?
It's a decent show. I was surprised.
Like the only match I would take off is the Lashley almost match, and maybe put in a Ricochet Gunther, which would probably bump it from a 7.5 to an 8.
I'm also surprised like they gave away like they did like the Ronda Raquel match on TV. So like that could have been, I could understand that if that was on Hell in a Cell as well. But
I wouldn't put that in a Hell in a Cell. I would put that on the show.
No. I mean, like that could have been on the card.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was a fresh enough match they kind of jumped the gun on as well. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
All right. We've avoided it long enough. We kind of talked about it at the end of the show last week. That MJF promo.
All right, let's talk about it, you fucking marks.
All right.
Yeah, we mentioned it last week. If it's a shoot, which it's probably not, but if it's a shoot, Tony Khan is petty, putting on John Morrison and Rusev immediately after. If it's a work, that's just booking genius, putting on John Morrison and Rusev after. But I enjoyed the promo. I think it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go, because I don't know if they thought, all right, yeah, you're going to get massive cheers at the end of this promo. We're going to run with it. Like, I think they expected him to get like this just massive boos, and the crowd was like, no, we like what he's saying. Especially when he mentioned the ex-WWE and the crowd just popped. Like, I'm curious to see where they go with it. Obviously, he wasn't involved in Dynamite this week. I'm not sure. Probably won't be involved in Rampage unless they do it like a hostile takeover or whatever. I'm very curious to see where they're going. Maybe it's just a way of giving him some time off, because I don't know. Like, he doesn't wrestle on TV, every week, but he's definitely there. So I don't know if they're just giving him some time off, and when he returns, it's going to be this, this huge event, and I'm very curious what the end game is for the storyline.
Yeah,
It's definitely a storyline.
I think given like the how how well it got over and stuff like that, and like in order to build the thing, to build the kind of the realness to it, you can't have him they come back the next week or something. It's not like when back in the day, like when John Cena got fired or whatever, when he lost to the Nexus and he came back like the next week. You kind of got to like build. You kind of got to kind of play. You kind of got to just build to it. I don't maybe expect him to see him back till maybe like I wouldn't suppose he's not out back to like or was it next pay per view all out not the Japan one but like all out um I could see him just not coming back till then. It is it builds it up, and I like how what they're doing. Like I feel like they're taking a page out of real life with the Naomi Sasha thing. They're like taking they're taking his merch off the store. They're taking him off the roster page. And then there's also all the stories like about how I think the latest was that he's been in LA talking about like acting roles, and I just feel like that they're feeding dirt sheets to this thing to kind of make you feel like it's going one direction where he'll come back and and maybe the injury to CM Punk has probably we'll get into that, but like the injury to CM Punk is probably kind of also going to put some on the back burner because I do expect maybe that he'll be the guy to beat Punk at the end of the day. So they're probably also waiting for that. But this has been a great build and one of the more intriguing things on the show. And he's an old school heel, man. Like I don't know if I'd condone like not showing up to a to a signing or whatever, because people pay their money, Ben. But like he wants to make it as realistic as possible. I just knew him like he's going to be there. And then like when he came back, and then he was like intimating doing the airplane kind of thing to go off the fact that like he supposedly booked a ticket home. I thought that was great. It's just like he's just an old school heel, and he's always thinking, always in character. Like he's like his inspirations are Roddy Piper, and you can definitely see that in his work. So I really enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it'll last as long as like All In, but it's definitely something you don't necessarily need to rush. I mean, I always laugh too, like kind of Richie said, like they did the same thing with the Miz, where like the Miz got fired, and then like he was in some sort of match where like he wore a mask the next week, and he got right back on the roster. And like I hate when they bum rush things. They have angles that don't pay off, and they're undone by the very next week here. So I think you take your time. You know what I mean? Like Jacob also said, MJF is not somebody that actually wrestles a shit ton. Like this year, he's literally wrestled basically once a month. He's got 5 matches on television or pay-per-view from the year 2022. So it's literally about once a month that he actually steps in. So you can take him off TV for a little while. You know what I mean? Maybe have him come out on a big Dynamite, or even if you have to wait till he can maybe screw somebody over at the Japan pay-per-view, or wait till All In. Who knows? No, I love it. They've been teasing this for a long while, even before the Sasha thing, where it was, he would hint that like, hey guys, when my contract's up, that year, I'm down for the biggest buyer. You know what I mean? Like I'm not loyal to AEW, which was a heat getting thing because the AEW fans go, no, how dare you say you'll leave us? You know what I mean? And now with the Sasha thing and the Naomi thing, now he can go that even next level of you know what I mean. I'm not happy here. Obviously, it's a work because they wouldn't have given him unlimited time, or they wouldn't have given him promo time on Dynamite. It was a real nail in the coffin as to whether or not this was a work or not here. So it's fun. I absolutely love MJF here. So down to see where this goes and how they pull it off. Like I said, hopefully, take your time with it, and that's it's a fun angle. I could lend it out to like Impact, or what I mean, GCW. Let him show up somewhere else and like shit talk him like he's a real free agent, or that he doesn't care anymore. You could have some fun with this.
Yeah, it's very like Brian. You remember when like they did a thing with Brian Pillman back in the day? It's very Brian Pillman-esque, where he's like, but that backfired him. It's like, oh, what if like WCW was like, what if we actually released you to, but then we signed you to build up realistic. And then he went to like ECW, talk shit about them, and then he just didn't re-sign back. He just signed to me. It kind of backfired on that. It backfired on them. So hopefully, but it does have, the BS thing does have reminiscent of that a bit. But I'm saying that, obviously this is a work and stuff. However, when his contract does run out in 2024, I wouldn't be too shocked if he showed up at WWE. You never know. It could have been his dream to go to WWE at one point. So,
immediately book him against the Miz.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how he feels at AEW. I think the dream now is way more open. I don't really think anyone still has that very secular WWE dream anymore to a very large degree. Like I said, if he feels like Cody, where in a few years that he's kind of plateaued, and like you said, maybe he comes and he's the one that takes it off Punk, in a few months or the end of the year when Punk's back. And then in 2-3 years, he's like, all right, well, I've climbed the mountaintop. Let me see how I can do over there. That's a possibility. So I think it all really just depends on how he feels at AEW. If they're still giving him good, juicy things to do here, you know what I mean? Because that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, completely agree. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up at Forbidden Door, kind of like a sort of Seth Rollins interrupting takeover sort of thing, where he just jumps the barricade, grabs a mic, and cuts a promo, and then security comes and has to take him away, just to kind of keep it going and keep him relevant. But we'll see where it goes. We'll also see where this new championship goes. The All Atlantic Championship that seemed to come out of nowhere. I didn't even know that there were plans for another championship. I mean, obviously they've got the roster for it. They've got 4 shows if you count the two YouTube ones. Huge roster. So, I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility to have 2 mid-card titles. So
yeah.
And I like the tournament that they got going for it too.
Yeah. I think it did come out of nowhere. I think they've got too many titles at this point. I just do, because you've got the AEW titles, but you also, I mean, at the moment it'll change when it gets brought up. But you've also got people walking around with Ring of Honor titles. You go and the AAA title shows up here and there. There's just so many titles on the show, and I don't know if you need another I don't know if you need another mid card title. I mean, I'm sure the matches would be good, and I like the bracket, and I like the idea but there's a bit in it, but it's called the All Atlantic Championship, and it's got Japan on it, which is not in the Atlantic, because neither is Australia. But yeah, I don't know, I could call it I get the idea of an international title though, and that could be cool. But I just feel like I don't want titles to mean anything, because I just feel like there's almost too many titles. So, and it just makes they make a point to have most titles on a pay-per-view, which will make maybe potentially pay-per-views even longer. I'm curious to know what who the two Japan stars are going to be in the tournament. I'm assuming one's going to be American, because they haven't got an American on the thing yet. So maybe I think someone's threw out someone like Chase Owens or something. Maybe I don't know who the other person would be, like Naito. So I don't know. Maybe Naito. I don't know. Juice Robinson, or maybe I actually think the American's going to be Juice Robinson. But yeah, and maybe Naito or something. And then I think the winner of that goes to a fatal 4-way. It's just a small tournament. Go to a fatal 4-way, and it should be a banger. I out of the bracket there, I see Miro winning the whole thing. I think it makes sense. But yeah, and Park and Buddy Matthews had a really great match on Dynamite to kick it off. So no, look, I think they got too many titles, but I'm looking forward to the matchups, and I am curious. I'm apprehensive but curious to see how this title's going to play out.
When they were talking about we got a new title, I thought this was about to be the 6-man tag titles announcement, was my original thought. Because I didn't necessarily think we were going to do another male singles title. I'm in the middle, you know what I mean? I do think, we look at Double or Nothing, we had pretty much every title on the line except the TNT title, and it was still kind of a long show. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously now you can mix it up, have this title main event, some dynamites, some rampages. You never really see any titles on those other two dark shows, though. So, I mean, I don't hate it. It gives people something to fight for, and they do have a big enough roster where there are so many people that are just kind of doing matches for matches. Like Richie said, though, the Ring of Honor titles on there a lot recently, so there's a lot of titles going on here. I'm gonna go ahead. My pick though, so he's got Miro. Jacob, you give your pick too. Obviously we don't necessarily know the New Japan guys yet, but I feel like since everyone else is a signed set AEW guy, I feel like they're not gonna win. I'm gonna go Malachi Black. I'm gonna go with the simple logic of Miro has had a title and could get another title down the line for sure. I could see him even taking it off of, maybe Malachi down the line or whatever. I'm just saying for the first ever champion, I feel like you should go with somebody newer and fresh that needs just that little extra oomph. So I'm gonna personally go with Malachi. That's my pick here.
I have Malachi Black winning his match, but I have Pac winning the whole thing. I think.
Okay.
Which
would be a first title too. That'd be a first title.
I mean, he's been in the company since the start.
Yeah, true.
So I think maybe it's just, I think he's over with the fans. I think he can put on great matches. I'd like to see him one-on-one with, all four of these guys that are in the tournament, with that title on the line. Not knowing who the New Japan guys are, and not even going to wager a guess as to who they could be, because I have no idea.
I like the idea of Juice.
Yeah.
But there's so many options though, for sure.
Yeah, my working was that like there isn't an American on that thing yet, so you need an American. So I guess Juice, because he's also the US champion at the moment as well. So or maybe Juice is Sonata. Maybe I'm something. But
I could also see Ethan Page winning the whole thing.
Yeah, you think he'll get past Miro?
I think he's going to get destroyed by Miro, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't hope not destroyed. Ethan Page is so damn good.
I know.
I don't see him getting past by Miro.
Ethan Page also has people that can be in his corner, whereas Miro's kind of going out there alone.
Maybe
I don't know
maybe they screw him and then Miro takes it off of Miro can go into a feud with maybe Wardlow or Sky. There's different ways you can do it.
Yeah.
So I could see him and Sky carrying both titles at the same time. But I'm gonna pick Pop, and that's gonna be my final.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like him and Penta have been there since the beginning. Penta's had the title, Pac hasn't, so it'd just be a nice. Hey, thanks for being here for 3 years.
When you think about it, though, it makes sense, because they did a battle royal, obviously on Dynamite. I will talk about that later, but I was curious. There's so many worthy competitors missing from this battle royal, but it makes sense afterwards.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, for a thing to decide a world champion. No Jericho, no Hangman, no, a lot of people missing.
Well, Hangman made his intentions known that he might want to go after that IWGP championship.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, realistically, why would you not also try to put your hat in for a world title run? Why would he not want his baby back?
Yeah,
that's true. Speaking of the AEW World Championship picture, we did get that battle royal. Were any of you as surprised as I was to see Kyle O'Reilly win?
No. Yes and no. So just like the Rumble or any battle royal, there's 3 tiers. Sometimes there's 4. Sometimes there's the obvious winner, which I didn't necessarily think there was one. But then there's the possibilities, the long shots, and the have no chances. You know what I mean? Like John Silver, Max Caster, great. They had no chance. Austin Gunn, no chance. Then you got long shots where you're like, I guess maybe he could get it. And then I would say Kyle O'Reilly was in my first tier of maybe. I definitely had my money on Andrade though. The fact that he was kind of last, he's back. You know what I mean? He hasn't really had a big main event match in a while. I know that was a fresh matchup too, Andrade and Moxley. So that was my money. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's high on O'Reilly. Big win on that pay-per-view over Darby. He's had some other singles matches. So and it was a good match too. O'Reilly and Moxley really just kind of beating each other up. So
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised a little bit, but like again, you need. I think you need someone in there like who was like obviously you could have like mostly could have match with everybody, but like somebody like who's going to do a match, but but at the end of the day, who's going to that Moxie's probably going to like win, but yeah, they sort of I had. But the heavy believing that sometimes better. I thought Swerve at some point was going to win. I think he was doing really well in the battle. Obviously, I think the team with Keith Lee is done.
I wouldn't say done. We haven't. I don't think we've seen the blow off.
But on Twitter, he just put out a tweet saying dead weight.
Oh, maybe.
So and then then he eliminated Darby as well. So I'm like, oh man, he could win this. And obviously like Tony's really high on Swerve, so I thought maybe him. But I think Kyle O'Reilly is like a good dude. Like again, I think he's just that guy like in NXT he was one of the best, but they never put the title on him. I just think. I mean, I'm not saying that Kyle O'Reilly will win the title anytime soon, but obviously. Tony is really high on him, and it's probably an indication in the future that he might get himself in that position. So, unfortunately, So, it's interesting. I feel like they did sort of convolute how they had to explain how things are going to go, basically. Because they were being a bit convoluted. Like I think people thought, oh, okay, the winner of the battle royal goes to Forbidden Door, but then it's like they had to clarify, the winner of battle royal goes and versus Moxley at the end, and then he takes on the winner of Tanahashi and Goto at Dominion, and then they rest. But so it wasn't as clear, but like
I would have kind of killed the middleman and maybe just not done the battle royal. It just seemed kind of like, and if you think about it, it was very much an extra match for not. But
also, I'm not like I'm thinking about it. It's kind of unfair for Riley. He's gone through this battle royal and he's got to wrestle a fresh Moxley at the end of the match.
Good luck. Yeah, good job, Kyle. Yeah, he is fighting in a handicap basically a little bit.
Yeah. So but I like Kyle. Hopefully, in a couple of years, he actually I expect Adam Cole to win the title at some point, but also expect Kyle O'Reilly to win the title at some point. So see what happens.
I'm going back to where Swerve tweeted out dead weight when Swerve was the one that got pinned in the championship match.
Okay.
Anyway,
because Keith wasn't a better partner.
Okay. But as far as this whole thing goes, I kind of liked O'Reilly winning. I thought maybe they would go Wheeler Yuta and we would just get that.
Nah.
That's just what I wanted, just because I just knew the match. I knew any of those four that were the final four against Moxley would be a good match. But
I just figured like you got to think of a real like main event. Like here, Wheeler's not going to headline Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you really think O'Reilly is though?
Yeah, a better shot. Yeah, over Wheeler as far as possibilities. Yeah,
over a champion.
Yeah,
I mean, a better shot than Wheeler. Yes,
but also like Wheeler, he was in the Super Juniors, but he didn't make it. He didn't really make a dent in it. So it'd be weird to see him not making it, and then suddenly main event.
Well, that's a separate company. I could see, he was still in it, which is still a pretty big coup. As well as CJ Perkins, you can see me interviewing him over at Twitter.
I'm also like, why is Tanahashi in like a qualifying match, so to speak, for the interim championship when he was getting a championship match already? Like, why isn't it just we're going to find a new opponent for Tanahashi to determine the interim champion?
Because I don't see him not beating Goto anyway. I think he's beating Goto. So I agree with that.
It's like we know you were gonna get a shot, but now you have to win this match to get a shot that we already gave you, but now you don't have it. So win this match, win that match, and then beat Punk when he comes back, and then maybe it'll be the real champion.
Yeah. I know Tanahashi was saying something like maybe they do that the match, like he wants the match with Punk eventually, maybe at Wrestle Kingdom or something. That'd be cool, but I don't know if that will.
And call me crazy, but I think Tanahashi could take the whole thing, and like maybe they do that Punk Tanahashi match when Punk is fully healthy.
You're crazy.
Because I don't know that of all the people to give the title to.
Give it to Moxley again? Yeah, I don't know.
Give it to Moxley. He's your first, I guess, 2-time champion, even though it's like an interim thing.
They
like,
better not label him as a 2-time champion.
Yeah,
it's a separate title.
Just be cool to see an outsider win the I guess the sort of big one, even though Punk's still the champion. I hate interim champions.
I do too. Man, like, yeah, like they don't mean anything. Especially considering like what the interim title we saw before was like, they crowned an interim TNT title champion because Cody had COVID. It's like, dude, he's gonna be he'll be right in a week. Just fucking wait. Don't crown interim title.
They did the same exact thing with Ring of Honor. Deanna was booked, so they're like, all right, interim champ Mercedes Martinez. 2 weeks later, okay, now we do the match. Just fucking wait. Did anyone not pay on? Did anyone go up? Now you don't get my $40 because we didn't get the title match. Like, I'm not trying to knock them, but like, wait, then you know what I mean. It's a disservice to the wrestlers, you know.
Also, I gotta bring up on Dynamite. Wardlow comes out and he makes this thing. He's like, the reason I wasn't in the Battle Royal is because I don't want interim. I want to fight Punk. But it's just like, but if you win the Battle Royal and you won and then you had a chance at interim and you beat and you won the interim title, you would face Punk anyway.
Yeah, it's booking. It's the booker trying to explain to you why the dominant guy's not in it, because they don't want him in the main event of Forbidden Door, and they also don't want him to look weak. So it's them like, okay. Here's why he's not in it. Because it's just them trying to come up with an excuse as to why this dude who should have been a favorite to win wasn't in the match. Yeah.
But in reality,
20 security guards.
Yeah, but in reality,
I look forward to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, in reality, it's like, well, what were those two new? And potentially, we haven't seen them in a long match. So we're not going to strap the rocket to him just yet. They can't say that. So he's going after the TNT title instead.
Exactly. Yeah, they trust him more with Scorpio or CM Punk match on the line. They probably maybe would have done Punk, I guess, if he was healthy, maybe on like a Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm not. I really hope that they book Wardlow better following this whole Mark Sterling thing. Like, he finally had his big moment. He's a member of the roster, and now, hey, guess what? You're being sued. Like, come on. Like, let him squash some people, build up a challenger, and
I mean, we're kind of getting that already. I don't mind this. He's gonna squash 20 motherfuckers next week. Like,
I do expect too. Like there's probably a trick up Mark Sterling's sleeve where it's like one of the security guys is probably going to be a name. You know what I mean? Like,
100% number 20 to be fucking, Morrissey or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Morrissey, and he's available now, Morrissey, so that could happen.
Is he done with Impact? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there's one more thing. Richie kind of brought this up in the chat.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. Just remember, like, there's going to be like death before Honor in July, I think Minneapolis or something. But like, you'd think that maybe
they would fucking get on it because it's June 10th, everybody.
I was going to say like maybe plans to change because you'd think that they would have built it towards now. But like that's why I was like they've been building up like Joe and Lethal for fucking ages. So maybe like that's where they finally do it. But like I know there's like there's something brewing with Ring of Honor, but like maybe it's not in July, but like I think we are going to get a Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view at some point soon. But yeah, like it's just it's obvious that that's what they're waiting for that pay-per-view for Joe and Lethal. But yeah, I feel like that bit, and just because of circumstances, I just think that's been dragged out a bit. But like I'm sure it'll be a good match. But
I mean, Death Before Dishonor has been all over the place in the last several years. So it started off as a July event, but it's been in August several times, and even more recently, it's been more of a September show. The last 4 times it happened, so you definitely could hold it off till August. I would at this point, even if they were looking at July. They kind of dropped the ball on that if that was the plan. So August is still definitely on the table.
Yeah, August, September is more realistic. You don't want to also you don't want to be building towards 2 shows. You're building towards Forbidden Doors, so you can't really, you don't want to be
it's just too late. I think you want a solid month and even a couple months to promote. That's why I was like, I don't mind because I mean, even August is technically you're building that and All In, but I feel like because it's technically 2 companies, you know what I mean. You do Ring of Honor a little bit cheaper on their platform, so.
And I also don't. I don't know if they're building if this is what they're building towards, but like it makes sense that maybe you do the rematch of FTR and Roppongi Vice, which we should probably talk about that too. FTR and Roppongi Vice, maybe at the Ring of Honor show.
That would make sense for sure. I just hope they do get the ball rolling though. I feel like Ring of Honor got momentum from the Tony Khan bye and a decent show in April, and here we are in June without an announcement of another show. So hopefully they get the ball rolling. As a guy that Ring of Honor saved my love for pro wrestling, like I really want Ring of Honor to continue, and it looks like they are. Just hopefully they continue in more of a once or twice a year thing. That's my fear. Is that it.
Well, I hope that maybe in the next pay-per-view that Tony Khan makes an announcement of a TV deal. I'm assuming that's coming soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a matter of
let's put them on the FX.
FX would be sweet, man. I've always hoped somebody would get like Netflix on board. That'd be cool. Something.
Yeah. But yeah, we should probably talk
ESPN.
about ESPN. Yeah.
ESPN the Ocho.
We should probably talk about the fact that Will Ospreay showed up on Dynamite.
Yeah, pretty big, and he's wrestling Friday. What a quick they don't waste time here, man. There he is, match done.
I was like, they're doing the match
on him and Aussies versus who are they fighting?
Trent and FTR.
Trent and FTR, who they interrupted.
Oh, that makes sense. The people they attacked. That should be giving that away for free on TV.
Yeah,
I think it's a good build. But I thought that I'd figured that was going to be the Forbidden Door match, but I guess we're going to get something else. So, I mean, good way to advertise. If you don't know who Will Ospreay is, you'll find out Friday.
Or Aussie Open, which I actually
I'm actually not familiar with. So
they're really good. I saw Mark Davis wrestle only a few months ago over here in Brisbane. So yeah, I didn't realize it was back in Japan. But yeah, they're really good.
All right. Well, yeah. So, Ring of Honor, get on it. Book a show.
Book a show.
All right. Well, we're gonna end the show with our top 5.
God, I thought we were done. That's right. We still got that.
We're gonna start with Hell in a Cell. We're gonna end with Hell in a Cell, and just quickly go around and do our top 5 Hell in a Cell matches. I'll kick it off because I'm pretty sure I've got one that's going to be talked about later by both of you. Because my number 5. So just tell me if you have it higher, and I won't talk about it yet. I'll wait. My number 5 is Mankind versus The Undertaker.
I have it higher.
So I'm just feel free to. I'll talk about it when it's brought up at the.
Well, here I like the top 10 with John Roca. We'll just say pivot, and we'll save it till Richie. We get to Richie.
Yeah, pivot.
Why is it not on your list?
It's my number 5 actually. I agree with you.
Okay, so we'll
save it for Richie.
Save it for Richie. All right, Richie, what's your number 5?
My 5 is actually probably one that I didn't expect to join as much as I did, but Randy Orton and Undertaker at Armageddon 2005, I believe.
Okay,
not on my
list.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And the downside being, I'm pretty sure Bob Orton Jr. had hepatitis and he was bleeding everywhere, so that was not a great thing.
Taker was pissed.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still a really good match though. So yeah.
All right. I haven't revisited this match probably in a long time. So I mean, if you're this high on it, out of the 50 plus Hell in a Cell matches they've been.
Yeah, there's definitely some of these that might not be as high on mine just because, like Jacob said, there's a lot that has happened since 1997 and that I haven't seen in quite a while. So I remember liking this one, but yeah, I didn't remember it too, too specifically. So yeah, not on mine.
All right, and so Jordan, you said what your number 5 was, so we'll wait to talk about that. My number 4 is from No Mercy 2003. It's Brock Lesnar No Mercy 2002. Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker.
On my honorable list, but so hard to do because I fucking love this one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Richie, did this make your list at all?
No, it was honorable.
All right,
yeah.
cool. Yeah. I actually was watching this during picks and lists today. It was on in the background, and yeah, no, this is just a really solid match. I think Undertaker and Brock Lesnar just worked so well together. Anytime they were in the ring, even in the later runs, except for that WrestleMania match, which was kind of a slog, but yeah, no, this was really solid, hard hitting. Paul Heyman, getting involved just enough. Paul Heyman, taking some bumps and busting himself open. I think it was fantastic. I like the added element of the broken hand and kind of the cast and that being used as a weapon, but then kind of Brock Lesnar taking advantage of that, taking the cast off and pinpointing that. There was a moment when I thought Brock Lesnar's head was going to hit the top of the cell on the last ride, but thankfully it didn't. No, hard hitting, bloody, and this was back when Brock Lesnar was having, 4.5, 5-star matches almost every pay-per-view with the right opponent. Well, maybe not quite 5 stars. There were a couple that could be, but yeah, this was great. Number 4, I absolutely love it. Rewatching it today just solidified that. Richie, what do you got at number 4?
I've got. Well, we talked about it before there, but I'm gonna bring out the 6-man at Armageddon 2000. This match is nutty. I love it. It's like you got it's Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Austin, Rikishi, and The Rock, and Triple H. This match is great. Just bedlam. Like that's probably the highlight, and it's still you can still see it in clips like play pro in interviews when obviously Rikishi for a big man, he took a lot of big bumps, and he took a took a bump off the cell onto onto some hay on a truck, and then like Kurt Angle just gets his ass kicked throughout this match, and then somehow manages to get his arm over for a pin and pin the Rock. But I guess the only downsides we talked about, Austin has to get his heat back and stun him, and it doesn't lead to anything. But it's still a really good match, and I definitely go back to. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mentioned it with Jordan earlier because I was actually watching it. And I mentioned it to you before the show. Like they kind of didn't seem to care about Angle even though he was the champion. Like he enters third to the match. Undertaker, Austin, and Rock all come out after him. Very little actually during the match, except for just getting the snot beat out of him. And then at the end of the match, instead of him just kind of squirming away, like surviving, he takes another stunner, and the show ends with everyone just on the mat. So
yeah.
This is an honorable mention. I don't know, Jordan, did it make your honorable mentions or?
It didn't quite crack the honorables for me, but I do remember enjoying it. This is one I remember actually seeing live and taping it on VHS and digging it.
All right, nice. So, Jordan, we'll actually let you pick a match now. What's your number 4?
My number 4, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this one. It's Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. I love this match.
Wow.
So much emotion. Maybe I'm on a recency bias, But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it again. I thought they added some new elements to the match that we hadn't seen before. We're really keeping you invested in it with a great face, a great heel, some decent, build up to it. And yeah, I was like, fuck it, let's put number 4. I really liked it.
Wow.
I was debating putting it on there. It's on my honorables, but I'm like, maybe too recent. But like, at the end of the day, it probably will end up being on my, like when I think about it. If we did a top 10, I would definitely be on there. But yeah, no, I think in time, but no, this is definitely a top 5 worthy spot. But I guess just because it literally only happened like last week, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could put it on there. But it's a really good match, given the circumstances.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I didn't put it on my list quite yet. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point it did end up on there, like my favorite cell matches. But it's probably my favorite WWE match of the year so far. Like it was that good. Like I really enjoyed it. So this might not be the only time we talk about that match this year. So we'll move on to my number 3, which I also rewatched today because I am currently unemployed because I make very good life decisions. Sorry, that's not what this podcast is about. My number 3 from No Way Out 2000, Cactus Jack and Triple H.
Pivot.
All right. I figured.
Well, we can talk about the number 5 now because my number 3 is Mankind and Undertaker, King of the Ring '98. That's a really good match. I feel like even beyond like the when Undertaker like throws him off the cell and then the choke slam that wasn't meant to go through the ring, like it would have still been a good match. It turned out to be a good match, but yeah, obviously those put over the top. But maybe the like what sort of maybe prevents as being number 1 now is just because it's like it is technically hard to watch. You didn't know at the time. It was like if you just watch a guy get fucking killed, just like especially with the choke slam, and then but I think and JR really adds to this match. He's really good, but like it's probably just because he's genuinely concerned. This match is like and the fact that like people forget like he did a run in the next match. He did a run in the main event. Man, like a madman. He did a run. But yeah, this match is like just nuts. And yeah, like obviously when people think Hell in a Cell, they immediately think of this one, and for good reason. But yeah, there's just 2 actual proper wrestling matches I liked better. So I will go number 3, but it's still very good.
Yeah. Obviously I'm very high on it too. I had it at number 5. I don't think it's a good wrestling match, but man, you got to appreciate the spots and just everything that Mick Foley put his body through. Taking that bump off the cell, and the added element of Terry Funk, who is supposed to hate Mankind, is checking up on him, and added a sense of oh shoot, he must be really hurt if Terry Funk's checking on him, because at the time like that was a big thing. So yeah, it's on here just for its impact on the business. People are still talking about it, almost 25 years later as one of the biggest moments in pro wrestling history. So yeah, definitely respect the match. But the ones that I have above it, I just enjoy more from like a wrestling standpoint.
Yeah, this is hard, but definitely stood out to me as like number 5 and no higher. Tremendous amount of respect for my good friend Mick Foley. Mick, how you doing? I know you're watching. But yeah, this is a match that's remembered for the spectacle more than the actual like match. Which is why it's a little bit lower for me here. Definitely something I was excited to see as a kid, saving up for that VHS, having to buy it from it's Sam Goody. I want to say Sam Goody. Yeah, remember that, folks? And yeah, I love it. It's a great spectacle. One of the early matches too. This match is still pretty new at that time. But yeah, like that, like I said, the other ones is just like there's more bang for your buck, more kind of evenly keeled matches, higher in the list.
All right. So, like what? Tell us what your number 3 is.
Oh, okay. Let's go to number 3. And this is actually a Hell in a Cell I witnessed live. WrestleMania 28, Undertaker versus Triple H. Uh, what a speaking of, when WWE actually gives things real time to simmer here. I mean, this is a feud coming off of another feud, coming off of the whole Undertaker retiring Shawn Michaels. Triple H looking for some revenge now, and trying to get that win now himself. A great singles match, and then following up with this Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels as a guest referee. Tremendous moment of them, all of them at the top of the stage, kind of doing that turnaround with the fans here. Yeah, just maybe not the craziest, but I just thought one of the best stories again in Hell in a Cell was this one, Taker and Triple H from Mania.
I'll echo that. It's in my honorable mentions. Like it just seems like the top tier of Hell in a Cell matches they're so good, and it's tough to leave any of these off because they're all so good. But yeah, I mean, like this one for me, it's more about the moments. The super kick into the pedigree and the 1-2 kick out, and just Shawn Michaels kind of like, oh, what's it gonna take? And then like he counts the 3 and Undertaker, and then the moment at the top of the ramp, like end of an era, even though they would wrestle 10 years later.
We don't talk about that much.
Who would wrestle?
Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and The Undertaker.
No, not ringing a bell.
I thought you were serious for a moment.
Pretty sure that doesn't happen. No.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, it was a 2K video I watched. Never mind.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they look so lifelike nowadays.
Yeah, it's like the graphics are so real.
Yeah. Crown Jewel. That's a made up name, right, everybody?
Not a real.
I think the most entertaining part of that build up to the match is like it wasn't even shown on that. It was shown on that Undertaker documentary thing they did. It was just a blooper where it was like, DX, if you're not down with that, we've got 3 words for you: go fuck yourself.
that was great. That documentary was really, really good. The Last Ride.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and hopefully it was The Last Ride, and his little tease at the end of his Hall of Fame speech was just him being funny. Never say never. No, never again, Undertaker. I'm gonna call you Mark from now on.
Never say never, especially if Saudi's paying.
Yeah, and
the main event, Crown Jewel 2025. The Undertaker versus Goldberg 7.
They're doing TLC in Saudi. Maybe he shows up.
Oh, jeez. All right. Anyway, we'll move on. My number 2. Speaking of the Undertaker, we're going to go to the first Hell in a Cell match. It's the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, with the debut of Kane.
It's gotta be. It's on my honorable mentions. It's good.
Yeah, it's on my mentions. I think only because like I mean the match is really good, and you might remember like Shawn Michaels falling off, but I think it's overshadowed a little bit by just the debut of Kane. I think that people just remember that's where Kane debuted. He's really that's one of the best debuts ever. But like the match is really good. But I feel like it's great. But yeah, I've had a little bit by Kane, but like it's definitely I had to be on my honorables. It's the first one, and yeah, so it's back when they spaced out the Hell in a Cell matches, and they made a mean clip. So
I mean, if you think about it, while you talk about this, I'm going to pull this up. Just the reason I have it number 2 is I do remember. I mean, especially since I rewatched it today as well. It's a fun thing to do when you're stuck at home alone and you have nothing else to do. But like I think it was perfectly booked. Like, Shawn Michaels being like kind of like that scared heel at the beginning, kind of trying to get away from the Undertaker, and the Undertaker's like, you're stuck with me now. I'm gonna beat on you for the first few minutes of this match. Shawn Michaels mounts his comeback. I thought for a moment that him like kicking on the cameraman was real because like the cameraman actually got in his way. And then I'm like, oh no, that's perfect because now they got to open the cell and they're gonna get out and they're gonna like they did everything they could with the cell in this match. I think like he used it to gain some more momentum and drop some elbows on the Undertaker on the outside and that fall from the top like it was. I think it was just a well booked match. The debut of Kane. I think it worked like if you're gonna have the Undertaker lose after dishing out that much punishment, like I think it only works with an interference. Shawn Michaels has to be, carried out by Triple H in China. Yeah, I think it's great. And to your point, Richie, about spacing them out, like this one was October of '97, but between June, like in June and August of '98, they had 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
Okay.
They had the Undertaker and Stone Cold against Mankind and Kane on Raw. They had the Undertaker and Mankind at King of the Ring, and then in August they had Mankind and Kane on Raw. But after that, like you see one in '99, one in 2000, or 2 in 2000, but like they're spaced out, and like you don't even see one in the year 2001 at all. But yeah, it's like one a year, and it's saved for feuds that actually need it.
Yeah.
Until 2009 when it's on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get the argument that the match is overshadowed because of the debut of Kane, but maybe it was the rewatch today that bumped it back up for me.
Yeah.
But all right, Richie, what's your number 2? Or actually, Jordan, do you have any thoughts on the match?
Which one?
If you wouldn't fall asleep, Mike, the first Hell in a Cell match, Michaels and Undertaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said honorable mentions, and no, I mean it was fun. I mean again, it's very much Shawn kind of trying to escape the clutches of Taker getting his ass kicked and whatnot. Big debut again, kind of known for its moments here, but it still holds up as an enjoyable, worthy excursion for any wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, Richie, what do you got number 2?
Number 2, I didn't think I'd have like I went back and watched this, and yeah, it's definitely deserves to be on my list, and I didn't think it was going to be, but yeah, and it's because it's something that's only happened the last couple of years, but I'm gonna go with from Hell in a Cell 2019, Becky and Sasha. I think this match rules. These two women work really well together. I like the spot where I think it was like Becky did like a drop, like set up the camera, did a drop kick from the apron to Sasha. I think that's a great spot. I just think I think they just killed it. I think it's a phenomenal Hell in a Cell match, and I think it's worthy of a top 5 placement.
Yeah, no complaints here. I mean, I think all the women's Hell in a Cell matches have been fantastic. I didn't have one in my top 5, but I think all three of them that have happened could be honorable mentions. This one, Charlotte and Sasha, and then Bianca and Bayley. Like I think the women have killed it in the cell. This one might be my favorite of the women so far, and not mad at the choice at all. Jordan, what do you think? Jordan, stay awake. We're almost done.
No, man. When you say a match, I close my eyes and I think about that match, and I try to transport myself
and then
right
you
to
Nice
shut the
save.
fuck up, Richie. And then I think about that match, and then Jacob, remind me of what match we're talking about.
Becky and Sasha.
No. Oh, see, I love that one. I thought about it. I also thought about Bayley and Sasha. Both some really good matches here. No, it's a great one. It's probably on my honorables. If you want to look at it that way. But no, it's a good one here, man. Two of the top going at it today. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch down the line. It's really toy.
Yeah, I misspoke. There have been 4 women's Hell in a Cell matches. My bad.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of it, I think it was the Bailey Sasha one was when she's trying to duct tape the two kendo sticks together, and then she asked the referee for help because she couldn't peel the tape because her hands are sweaty. Bailey's great. I miss Bailey. Anyway.
All right. So Jordan, what's your number 2?
All right, let's go for some tag team action here. New Day and Usos from Hell in a Cell 2017.
We'll go ahead and talk about it. It's my number 1.
All right.
Now, yeah, for number 1, so we've got this to talk about.
Nice. No, I love it, man. I shouldn't say obviously surpassed my expectations because these two always put on a really good match, but yeah, I wasn't necessarily going in expecting much. Maybe because we had seen them wrestle a few times previously in normal matches. But they found some fun, unique ways to add to this here. Is it the first major tag? Well, I know there's some weird tag ones on TV actually, but like this just stood out to me as like the first major real tag team one. No, that's not true. I think Triple H and maybe. Yeah, the DX file maybe Legacy in it too, but
yeah,
I don't know.
There was there was DX and Legacy, and then there was also DX versus the McMahons and Big Show.
Oh, fuck that! But
that's right. I remember that much.
Yeah, it was only the 3rd tag team match.
So that's pretty cool. There's a weird one on Raw. I think that some people count, or maybe after Raw. But yeah.
I think the one you're thinking of is there was a dark match, and it was John Cena versus Del Rio, Punk, Ziggler, and Swagger. But there's no other tag team match on the list. But again, I'm looking at Wikipedia, and Wikipedia could be wrong.
No, that sounds about right. Like I said, I know that this still stood out as something that they don't do often, and still to a degree haven't done. You know what I mean? But it takes 2 teams. And it was just great, man. This was a banger. This was match of the night. I want to say it went on earlier too than the other one, and whatever happened after it couldn't almost live up. Exactly. Yeah. And this is one hell of a way to open. It plateaued. That pay-per-view plateaued with this match, and that's not a bad thing because this match is fucking awesome. So yeah.
This match, these two teams kind of have a bad match, and just being in a cell, it could. It just enhanced it. That spot where they trap the Usos with the candlestick again. Use a candlestick. They trap, they trap the stick between the bars, between the cage, and then they're stuck there. That's great. This match is fantastic, and it kind of blew me away. So I think worthy number 1, especially there's better spectacles like the the Mankind Undertaker match, but for a pure wrestling match, I think this is one of the better ones. So
I mean, like Jordan said, these two teams, they never really put on a bad match, but there's no repetitiveness with this match because of what they were able to do inside the cell, and that added element of they don't really have anywhere to go, but they also have the weapons, and when they tie up Woods and they just beat on him with the kendo sticks, oh man, that was a moment. And then just Kofi on the outside, not being able to do anything, not being able to help, even though it is a no DQ match. So if he somehow made his way inside the cell, it wouldn't have been illegal. Like he could have done that, but he stayed outside, which I appreciated that because I know the New Day were the face team at the time. If they were the heel team, I could kind of see Kofi trying to get inside, but no, they kept it. It was 2-on-2, and man, I rewatched this today as well. This match is great. I love it. It was on when we did our top 10 favorite matches of all time. It was on my list as well. It's my favorite tag team match of all time. And the cell just added to it. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend if you have 25 minutes and you want to just watch some good wrestling, but some hard hitting wrestling, some hardcore stuff. highly, highly recommend this match. Cannot recommend it enough. This should have been the match to close and not Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. But,
Yeah.
whatever. What do I know? I'm not a booker.
Oh yeah, Booker man. So that was your number 2, Jordan. So that we got a number 1. So what was your number 1?
Yeah,
number
we've
1
done
was
our
the
number
one.
ones.
Did you guys both talk about enough for New Days and Usos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
know.
wanna
My
get
number 1, you mentioned before, Jacob. I love me some Triple H Cactus Jack. I just this one I always comes back to in my mind here. You have the spectacle, you have the story being again built in, kind of like years later with Triple H and Taker of just Jack really needing this win here. They came off a really good match at the Rumble and somehow surpassed that. So yeah, just this kind of culminates in this is violent, bloody story. The two guys that I absolutely adore and respect a hell of a lot. So yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, this was my number 3. Yeah, it's my number 3. I feared for Triple H's life at one point when the corner of the cell was broken and like his foot was going through it. I'm like, and then they're walking on that part of the cell. It's like, can you guys get away from there, please? I know you don't die, but
Please don't die.
at the same time, I was like I was putting myself back in 2000, and I'm like, don't die, please don't die, please don't die. And then I thought Cactus Jack did die when he went through the cell. Oh man, what a bump! Much respect to Mick Foley for just putting his body through so much just to entertain the fans and just doing what he loves. And I don't know if it was meant to be comedic, but Triple H coming down through the cell and then kind of using his foot to move his arm, and then you just see Mick Foley or Cactus Jack lift his arm up, and Triple H just starts freaking out like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to beat this guy? And then pedigree 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Jordan, you said it, bloody, hard hitting. I can see why you have it at number 1. Again, just I think Hell in a Cell, the top tier is the top tier, and it any one of these matches could be number 1, and you wouldn't have a problem with it. So yeah, great choice.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess the only other honorable I would say that I have that has been mentioned is just for a shout out. I thought it was really good. Jericho and Triple H at Judgment Day 2002, I believe.
As far as honorables, yes, because Judgment Day 2002 is on mine. For honorables, yeah, everyone said it. I had Bailey, Sasha, Lesnar, Taker, Michaels, Triple H, Jericho, and the other one I liked was the Shield. Ambrose and Rollins had a good one too in 2014.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are my 5 honorables. Yeah.
Yeah, I only had a couple that we haven't been mentioned, but yeah, so that was basically it. I mean, it's not a classic, but I don't mind Nash and Triple H at Bad Blood, and maybe.
No, I mean nothing stood out as oh fuck that one. I don't think there's been a clunker. I could
the McMahon one. You just said.
I could take out the McMahon just because that's more of a gimmicky you could really you need some hard hitters, and maybe even the Shane McMahon one to a degree. You need some real wrestlers to really make it that next level, in my opinion.
Yeah. As far as honorable mentions for me, we mentioned a couple of them: the Undertaker, Triple H, and then the 6-man Hell in a Cell. And then the other one, I do have a complaint that maybe it's a little too long. It's 47 minutes, but I still really enjoy Shawn Michaels and Triple H from Bad Blood 2004. The only Hell in a Cell matches I remember not really enjoying is the finish to Seth Rollins and The Fiend. But the finish. The match is fine. The match is good. The finish sucks.
Although they shouldn't. This was around the time they had the stupid red light around or orange light around.
Yeah, and that kind of took me out of it too. But as far as the match goes and the in-ring work, everything was great up until that finish. And then the only other stinker that I can think of is Undertaker Boss Man.
Oh yeah, wait, he
Not my
hangs him
favorite.
where he hangs him. Jeez, he
Yeah,
can't
and then he hangs
murder.
him like attempted murder. Why do wrestling bookers and why do they think we are going to cheer for attempted murder? And then
Murder is
cheer,
cool.
and then we cheer for attempted murder. We do cheer for it.
Yeah.
Triple H almost murdered Mick Foley, throwing him through the cell and almost through the ring. And that was great. Undertaker hangs Boxman. Oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
I like how like in the latest match, Cody and Seth, there was like like everyone's sort of concerned for obviously Cody, and that's warranted and stuff, and but then like when Seth finally brings up the table, they're like, "Thank you, Roller." Like it's like immediately like, "Oh, yeah, but we want to see a table, so put him through a table." We're concerned about him, but also put him through a table.
Seth Rollins had the biggest babyface moment of the entire night when he got that table out. All right, so just to recap my list, I had at number 5 Mankind versus The Undertaker, number 4 Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, number 3 Cactus Jack versus Triple H, number 2 I had The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and at number 1 I had The New Day and The Usos. Richie, run down your top 5 one more time.
Number 5, I had Randy Orton, Undertaker from again 2005. Number 4, I had the Six Man, The Rock, Austin, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Rikishi, and Undertaker from Armageddon 2000. Number 3, I had Mankind and Undertaker from King of the Ring 98. Number 2, I had Becky versus Sasha from Hell in a Cell 2019. Sorry, and then number 1 is New Day versus the Usos at Hell in a Cell. I can't remember what Hell in a Cell match was. It was
2017.
2017, yeah. At Hell in a Cell 2017.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, my top 5 Hell in a Cells that I dug: Undertaker versus Mankind, King of the Ring, 1998. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins from like 3 days ago. Undertaker versus Triple H at number 3 from Mania 28. New Day versus Usos, Hell in a Cell 2017. And finally, Terror Rising versus Cactus Jack Manson from No Way Out 2000.
So it's been settled by the 3 of us. If you were to average out our rankings, the New Day versus the Usos is the best Hell in a Cell match of all time.
Yeah,
it's been settled.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good show. I hope you guys that were listening enjoyed it. If you're listening on the replay, why are you watching a 2-hour show? I don't know. Skip around. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to watch this all at the same time. Skip around. Maybe you want to watch just the Hell in a Cell review part. That's fine. It's about the first hour. Then you can come back and check out the news that we talked about. And then you can come back later and watch our top 5 Hell in a Cell matches and maybe put your list down in the comments because we'd love to see it. But if you don't have the New Day and Usos at number 1, you're wrong. I'm sorry. It's just been decided by the 3 of us. So do that. And watch all the other content on the channel, tier ranker, tournament fights, and watch Richie and whatever he's going to tell you about.
Okay, you can watch me honestly just on those, but I'm I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point, Papa West is doing a trivia thing called Hard Quiz. It's based on an Australian game show here that's very popular. So that should be fun, and you can it could be, especially this topic could be about, it's sort of like like mastermind kind of thing. You can pick a specialist topic. So yeah, specialist topic could be about anything. So
Masterminds, the movie with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, definitely. Other than that, like I'm going to be on Tournament Fights, doing counting down the first part of Jordan Anderson's Touch 128, and then the next day I'll be on Tournament Fights for doing for one Austin's hosting called When Animals Attack. It should be fun. Yeah. Other than that, I'm on picks and lists most of the time, and then general movie trivia on the on Jordan Owen's channel, and yeah. Other than that, you can find me around, just find me around here, as we need to talk about wrestling.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Listen, guys, the Jordan Owens Florida retirement tour is in effect. Sunday, I will be at Tampa for Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling as the commissioner's cabinet is taking on the Gifted in a 6-man tag. I also heard there's an open challenge. I might accept that challenge and beat some fool up. I don't know. Maybe I will. Don't say I won't. And then June 25th, the final real pro wrestling event that I will be at for the foreseeable future. Maybe we'll shed some tears. Maybe I'll super kick a fool. Just kidding. I can't get my foot that high, but I can kick a dude in the dick. I can do that. So
the
go
orange
check
cap
that
and
out.
the kick.
Yeah, I can do those shin kicks for sure. Also, too, if you're in Cape Coral, Florida, one of my last comedy shows in Florida, probably the last June 23rd at Anthony's in Cape Coral. And also I might try to see if I can somehow get on those Rob Schneider shows here in Naples. That's my goal. Hook up with Schneider.
Yeah.
But most of all, follow me here on YouTube, the Pierce Co channel. We do movie trivia. Jacob's the current picks and list champion.
Spoilers.
We
I
do
did
some
that.
movie reviews. We just reviewed Hustle with Adam Sandler. We're gonna do our top 10 Robin Williams movies next week, as well as the Pierce Wrestling Channel wrestling trivia over there. We have a tournament that's been happening for the last 6 months. Maybe we'll get around to finishing that. Exclusive wrestling matches. You can see just so much, man. And follow me on this channel. I'm popping up here sometimes, always on Lonely Marks, and then as well as the Jordan Anderson shows, tier ranker and tournament fights. I enjoy being a part of those. You'll catch me from time to time. And I'm also in your bushes, so give me a sandwich.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Honey ham and salami is my
I'm
preference.
all out of salami.
Honey.
And I only have Black Forest ham.
Honey, ham, and salami.
I don't have honey ham. I just have Black Forest ham.
Oh, okay. You should
I
have said
made-
something right through my headset down.
I haven't made a grilled cheese sandwich in the longest time.
I haven't made one at least in a year. I've never done it in this place actually.
I was like, you know what sounds really good right now? A grilled cheese sandwich.
Can I go on a quick rant here with grilled cheese sandwiches? I have tried Applebee's, Outback. Y'all can't make a fucking decent grilled cheese sandwich to save your life. It is pathetic, the grilled cheese sandwiches that are on your menus. It's bread, it's cheese, melted a little bit. Put a couple slices in too. You're lacking in cheese, you're lacking in the melting, you're lacking in everything. If you can't do a decent grilled cheese sandwich, and I'm not even saying decent, I'm talking literally a 2 out of 10 maybe, then don't put it on your menu. Don't. And rant.
Was it on the kids menu?
Not okay, even if it was, Jacob, it is still a shitty sandwich.
But
I'm
would
not
kids
saying
like
it should have been bigger. No, because it's shitty. Unless you are completely fine with mediocre toast and mediocre cheese that's barely even grilled, then maybe you can get away with it. If you're just a dumb kid that just cheese in my mouth, I'm satisfied. But if you even want a grilled cheese, no, you will not be happy. Outback,
Okay.
come on. Did you guys see Outback now has a fast food restaurants that they're opening? They got drive-thrus and everything.
Crazy.
It's called Aussie Grill by Outback.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, man! Because that's what I get anyways. It's chicken tenders, so I'll take some chicken tenders through the drive-through Outback. Jordan
All
Anderson,
right.
put me on your Snack Hero show. I'll do a Outback review from Aussie Grill next week.
Boom. There we go. Oh yeah, the snack things. Yeah, that happens on the channel now too. As Richie slowly leaves.
I'm going to the door because someone needs to go to the toilet apparently.
Yeah.
Is it Hunter Chanless?
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna awkwardly end this one now. I'm just gonna